So high. Oh, want a little better. I was like, good gracious, ass, auspicious. All right, sorry to interrupt one of the greatest songs ever. You know what movie it's from? I know if you don't hear this song and like shimmy your shoulders a little bit, there's something wrong with you. Anyway, good morning. Take a look at the disclosure. Let's get to it. Anybody remember that song from back in the day? All right, guys. Good morning. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. And yes, I have my clothes on. Anyway, it does get a little hot on Fed Day. I'll tell you right now, Fed days aren't my most favorite days, but we'll see how it goes today. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm an optimistic type guy. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. This is 6:30 Club. We're going to go over levels. We're going to go over potential situations. And before we do that, maybe I could say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Who do we got? We got Enver Doughty. I've never seen that name. Hello. What up, Todd D? We got Mike in the house. Nelly. You know it. By the way, you're doing great on the virtual trade floor alpha team. You know, adding a lot of value. Love when people add value. What up, Katie Mack? What up, Bobby 4.0? Always making a difference. From Tampa Bay. Shoulders up. You doing a little shimmy? I did dance for a living back in the day. That's why I get a little pissed off about all the debt forgiveness for colleges. Because one day, you know, I went to school at SUNY Albany, president of my fraternity, having a great time, but I also had to pay for school. And one weekend, I had to do 3 bar mitzvahs, and we had a mixer on a Friday night. I went out, woke up at 4 a.m. I had to get to Long Island, and thank goodness I didn't pass away. I rolled my car down a cliff because I fell asleep because I was out partying, and I went home to work to pay off my tuition and almost died. So I get a little upset when they do the debt forgiveness, but we'll move on from that. What up, Cool Papa? What up, Mikey Pad, Space Specialist? We got Marcos in the house from hot Spain. That's all right. You got some beaches to cool off in. Anyway, let's get to it. So where are we? That is the chart. That is the chart of the SPYs. And guess what? The SPYs, isn't it so cute? The SPYs came right back to 547, right around here. I know yesterday, Red Dog did something a little different, which was nice. It was nice. The SPYs are up 2. I was buying some 535 puts thinking, you know, that maybe come next Friday, not this Friday, we break this and see some lower prices. So with that being said, SPYs went from green to red. I added to them. And then once we came into the lows of last week, I took most off. So that helped make money while some of my odds and ends of all my options, you know, were down some money. So having hedges helps. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it helps. If you didn't cover anything and now the SPYs are at 547, you're like, at least if you have puts on, risk is premium paid versus being short into a Fed day. That's not the easiest thing to do. But anyway, so here is 547.50. Okay, this is one big spot. Let me show you the spot even bigger. Okay, this is a big spot. Did I say a big spot? It's a big spot. Let me get back on here. So right here, I would think, you know, this morning we paused there, right? It's, you know, there's a lot going on today. You have the Fed at 2 o'clock. And, you know, this is what the street is expecting, 62 basis points worth of cuts this year, 2024. That means the dot plot that Powell has now at a quarter is not what he said. So somebody's wrong. So if he stays at a quarter and doesn't move the word elevated, which some think he will, chances are we're not getting through 547. If he changes the dot plot to maybe, you know, 2 rate cuts, okay, which would be 50 basis points, would be a little bit more dovish than last time. Maybe they push through here, and then all of a sudden you see a move to like 451, which would be in this gap, somewhere in here to fill that gap. If you can't get in there, we're still that weak. We've been that weak all week long. They've been selling this. Okay, if they, again, if he sounds a lot more dovish than he has, then these IWMs, that are sitting here like a latke. You know what a latke is? It's a potato that gathers grease, and if it sits here too long, it friggin' could sit in your belly. But anyway, I like it extra crispy. So here's the IWM. The IWM right now is up $1.68 to 224. So if he is extra special dovish, meaning maybe 50 basis points or sounds it, there is a chance that, we get this extra trade through 225, 226, for a nice move. That would be a nice move. Nice move. If he stays at a quarter, doesn't sound as dovish as the street's already saying, then it's not going to have enough power, in my humble opinion, to get above that. It probably breaks this 220, 70, and you could see them shake the tree a little bit. So those are my two focuses, the SPYs and that. Listen, the semis also a focus. The semis closed on the dead lows, and NVIDIA has been a leading indicator for that. So you go to NVIDIA right now, which closed on the dead lows, and NVIDIA, hopefully, I talked about covering some shorts yesterday. It doesn't mean you went long unless you did options. Well, here is kind of that spot. So it's been giving us a lot of ways to navigate the market and giving us clues. One clue is, remember the lower high here. That meant the semis were in trouble. Then you had an inside range, your H cell setup, broke 127. And then PS, first kiss of the 50-day, bounced. Next time broke it, couldn't get back above it, and boom. Okay, so right now NVIDIA is, where's NVIDIA? Coming into 110. Okay, 110 is kind of important, right? This was 110 where it broke down. Here's 111, here's 113. So the 8-day is right here. So there is room for NVIDIA to see 111 to 113 and still be broken, okay? But if it were to get here at first kiss and fade, that probably would make some sense. So yesterday, I think, or the other day, I was on, I was on the 630 Club and I talked about, AMD being a good setup. I'm like, I don't think Microsoft's a good setup. I know it's off the highs, but I just don't think it is, because it could do what Netflix did, which was 40 points off the highs, and there was no option play there. Google was a lot of 10 points off the highs, and it got hit. Tesla got hit. I'm like, I know Microsoft has gone down with those, but I just don't want to take options. I'm like, AMD, which has come out with some good news, which has been battered and bruised, which is down from 228, and it was just literally at 185. I'm like, I think this is a better setup. So I went with the 140s in AMD right now. It's nice. It's up 12. So the options should be 12, 13. I bought them at 5. Not quite 2, 3 to 1. I was in the 147 halves for 2.5. So it would have been the same. I felt like, it would have been too much to get back there. So anyway, that's going to pay me well today. Yesterday, I was trading with the boys and the girls and everyone from the Alpha team when I said Microsoft has good support at 388. I even think I tweeted it to the greater good, which is the public Twitter, and some guys bought a verse there. Or you waited in your seat. This was like the first time I sat in my seat, because anyway, Chase was playing golf and Selena wasn't home, and I was like, you know what? Let me sit here just in case, Microsoft, the Azure isn't as bad and they come out with good guidance, and then it was fine. From 468 down to 417. This was 388. We bought it after hours, traded it, and I didn't take it home. So right now, Microsoft's down 11. I would say there's a better than average chance that Microsoft goes green today from down 11. What you want to do is you want to wait for it to make a 5-15-minute low, maybe buy Versat. I would think that this goes green. The report wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it was fine. And it was tech sentiment that brought it down. And they said not the next quarter, the quarter after, Azure is going to get better again. So I don't know. I'm going to watch it, and see and maybe buy it. I did buy a little bit Apple after hours just because, and I bought some Amazon, which I didn't stay with, just because it was down. And, I was like, what? I have a feeling the future is going to be green tomorrow. I didn't think there would be up 50 handles, and that was fine. So anyway, but this 220, 220, 22 will be some decent resistance. Amazon was also a little nutty last night. Amazon has not been great at all, to be honest. Great to say the least. It's been friggin' pretty crappy. And we'll see what happens. Yesterday, it was up 2 and change because Kramer was chirping his mouth off. So I'm like, I got to sell some options. It's up 2 and change, with Kramer just chirping his mouth off. We sold some in the Alpha team, so I bought some back. I still think there's a chance that
this comes out with a good enough report to to perhaps do something better than the other high betas. If anything, it's still in the same place it was in 221. We'll see. Let's see what Bobby 4.0 says. Microsoft Cloud harasses me all day long in my Office package. All right. Jack Kamen says, get out at 410. There you go. Biden plans to exempt allies from new rule on foreign chip. Yes, that's helping, Todd D. So anyway, we'll see with AMD, getting killed no matter what, being pretty strong. We'll see if that holds up. AMD, I would think this. I said yesterday, this high is what? This is 157. Okay, this low is 152. So this 152 is the first spot, and then if we were to get through that, this low here is what? This is 159. I would think there's a chance that maybe not today, but I might sell half my options on the open and hold half. Or what I do sometimes is, just to pay me to hold it, if it's trading like 152, let's see, where's AMD? AMD is trading at 151. I could then hold the 140s and sell the 155s for probably like $3. And then that, pays me to keep it. So all of a sudden, because between now and Friday is a long time. Or you sell the 160s. So sometimes when I have a good play in my favor and I'm long straight calls and you have a big up move, I sell calls higher just in case we come in. They suck that premium out instead of just sitting in them flapping in the wind. I do think it should try and hold up. But anyway, IWM. Tom Lee said yesterday, IWM rallies $4 to 5% from today to next Wednesday. All right, Tom Lee is very, very bullish. He thinks that the IWM would, yeah. You know what? I think that if we do change the dot plot today, this can get through 225, 226. I'm not in the Tom Lee 250, 280 camp. I'm in the Red Dog realistic camp that maybe, this weekly chart has enough room to get to at least 232 to 244 if we get what we want. That's how I word it. I don't just throw out some major numbers. Say if this happens, then that, if that, then this, because we get paid for a living here. We can't just, I don't just try and make headlines for shits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? Qs, okay. Qs, that's the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Qs are interesting. Qs are doing the same thing kind of as the SPYs. Qs have been down more than the SPYs, percentage-wise. This is where we were the last 2 days where it got rejected. This is 467. Okay, this is the 8 day, so even come down a little bit. So basically, what was yesterday's high? Yesterday's highs in the Q were 466.56. So this is a pretty big resistance zone. So the question is, will this get above this spot and probably just have enough power if it wants to see kind of this spot? So I'm in the camp that we might get this bounce. They call it the ABC, right? This could be your A move down. You can get a B rally. We're oversold, very oversold. B rally, and then C lower into the end of the summer. ABC. Do you know your ABCs from kindergarten? Sometimes are you smarter than a fifth grader? I'm not smarter than a fifth grader, to be honest. Meanwhile, yesterday I did tell you with Serve, I was like, I would not be buying Serve yesterday. Remember that? But let's get to this first. So this is, I would say, 466. Okay, 466 to 467.50 is the first zone that if you happen to take things long or you're stuck in things long, you probably want to trim. If it pauses here for most of the day and then you get, a Fed that's as dovish as people want, maybe, you can get yourself another trade into this zone. But that's a lot harder than right here. So that's how I kind of, put things in packages. And as far as ABCs, Tony knows his ABCs. He's a teacher. But do you guys remember yesterday, Red Dog said sell SERV into this. I'm like, you day one, if you took that, you got paid day two. Red Dog reversal right here. This is when it took out that spot. Yesterday, everyone was all excited. You guys were all excited. It's going to 40. I'm like, I wouldn't be mind it's going to 40. If anything, sell some if it fails to hold the prior high, get the hell out of the way. So I think you got to, take your time there now. It's up 50 cents, big deal. Okay. But anyway, as I said, also, it's nice active sequence, money there. Anyway, what else? So Meta is tonight. I have no options on this. I have no options for anything else besides really AMD for today, which worked. And I bought some TQs at the end of the day because my friend Petey called me. He's like, hey, maybe you just want to have some Qs on, go with the TQs just in case. So that would work. So anyway, what's Meta doing today? Meta. Wow, it's only up $1. So Meta's at 464. So that means Meta is really just right. This is 456. I don't know why that's right there. 463 is here. This is 459. Okay, this is what? This is 456. 456 is right here. So Meta's in the middle of this range. So remember last time Meta gave you a big gap down because they said they were spending out the yin yang. You know what the yin yang is? That's a lot of spending. That was right here. So here we are a quarter later, pretty much in the same spot. What I might do is I might take a call spread. I went straight calls AMD. I do think all I know is when, I'm all over, when I'm on my phone and I'm on Facebook or I'm on a few of these things, I get so many AI articles because you know how many times I get an ice barrel sent to my inbox because I'm the ice barrel man? No. But anyway, so I have a feeling their numbers are going to be strong. They didn't get rewarded for strong numbers last quarter because of their spending. Maybe this time they don't, talk about how crazy they're going to spend and you get a better move. Everything else has been down. Maybe Meta will be up. So I don't think it's going to all of a sudden get back to 542 and make a new all-time high, but chances are if it wants to, this is 495, right? 495 is where it was just a 495 July 23rd. It's July 31st. So maybe there's a play above 475. So if you feel like you want to be in something, perhaps Meta, you could buy the 475 and sell the 495 calls, and then all you're looking to do is fill this gap post numbers. And if they miss and they add their capex, then you just get a zero. Risk is premium paid. I might do that today. I just talked myself into buying a 475 by 495 call spread. Chances are you could probably make 4 or 5x if it's right. How about that? Anybody like that? SMCI is a pain in the ass, Flapaccio. Todd, the arms after the bell. All right, ARM, closed on the dead lows. So ARM went as low as 129.10. It's probably up with everything else. So this is probably a little bit trickier to play, but it has come in from 188. Hopefully you guys got out when this head and shoulders top pattern happened, and it kind of completed the measured move, right? If this is the measured move of the head and shoulders top pattern from here, right? This is this. It seems like it just from the eye level. I don't have enough time to do it, right? Then perhaps, and this is kind of where it broke out from, right? If you go symmetrically across, this is how I do my charts. Cocktail napkin technician. Besides liking a lot of cocktails, I'm a cocktail napkin technician. So anyway, ARM after the close, decent risk reward. I don't think it goes crazy, but why can't this, why can't this get to this area? What's ARM doing this morning? It's probably up a bunch, so it's a little bit trickier. Where's ARM? It's up 6. Yeah, it's at 138 already, so it's already having a bounce. I'm not going to play ARM. I played AMD. It's fine. I'm going to use NVIDIA today as a gauge on where we pause. Do we pause at this 110, 111? Chances are we probably do. There was a lot of sellers yesterday. So this zone's going to be really hard. It's already here. So we'll see. Anyway, we're going to have a long day ahead of us. Eli Lilly's come in a lot. It kind of was one of the leaders of this rally, so it deserved to get a little bit of a corrective phase. It gave you rules. Write this rule down. When a leadership stock breaks the 8-day moving average, I don't care who you are, you reduce it and get out of the way. Even if you're an investor for a bunch of crazy years, maybe you sell a bunch. So if you look at Lilly, okay, Lilly gave you clues, right? Lilly put in its high 966. Look, Lilly was above the 8-day moving average the entire time since the breakout above 800. Played with people here. So boom, and then you had a downside gap that never got filled below the 8-day. So this was your day. Even if you didn't get out at the top, this was your day to say, hey, things just changed. That was a 918. That was quite a time ago. Anyway, always, you could always measure trends. You could always figure out how to navigate things. And this broke this ascending channel right here. Hopefully, if you didn't get out there, you maybe get out here, or at least reduced as it was really, extended from the 8-day. When's earnings on this? August 7th, so you have some time. Josh Brown loves Pfizer. Okay, he also Loved Google into numbers, but I'm not going to talk. Anyway, yes, Pfizer has been acting better. You know, the computers are programmed to buy something and sell something else. I've also done the charting on Pfizer. Most of my people bought Pfizer right here at 28. That was a nice technical spot. Looks all right. Looks like it can continue. You know, I told you the story about my friend who named his daughter Lily, and she is going into 6th grade. So he owns, you know, adjusted for splits, over 1,000 shares of Lily. His average cost is 40, and I've begged him to sell it a few times, but he won't sell because of taxes. Now he's like, Red Dog, maybe I should have sold some Lily at 950. I'm like, well, I also told you to sell some for the first move to 800. So anyway, but got to know your time frame, and paying taxes sometimes is not so bad. Instead of giving a lot of your gains back, and then you have no taxes to pay. But with that being said, Bitcoin is slow torture. Bitcoin it's been decent. Yeah, it held yesterday where it had to. I am still in IBIT. I've been in it for a bunch of weeks. It's just, you know, not doing what we all want it to do, which is go up and break above this 71 to 73,000 and show crazy momentum. But from this lower wedge up to here to 70, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm giving, you know, my IBIT probably closer to here, because I did sell a lot of strength yesterday, bought a little bit back. It's just hanging. Were to break this, you know, this is the spot. If it breaks this spot, then I got to wait for another signal to buy, like right there, which we saw. But still in the channel, just the question is, how long is this channel going to go? Is it going to continue to go all the way out here? Which it could. You know, might want to wait all the way to the fall. I don't know. But bottom line is, you know, Bitcoin, its own animal. The miners suck. Excuse my French. They suck. Excuse my French. I lose money trying to do those things. But anyway, sometimes there's a trade there. But ultimately, you know, when Bitcoin went up to 70,000, coin was $20, $30 off where it was when Bitcoin was here. Mara was off, CLSK was off, and I wound up losing money in those things. Listen, can't make money in every trade. You just got to cut your losses on bad trades and maximize winning trades, and we'll see what happens today. Good luck. I would say use today as like 5 different days. There will be so many different trades on Fed Day. One, if you're, you know, long overnight, trim some into this area of the SPYs. 2, if you think that this 547, which is resistance, will be contained in the first 30 minutes. Hey, maybe you can make some cute money short right here in the first trade, and then see where we pull back and see how we hold. And then there'll be a whole new sets of trades at 2 o'clock. And then when Powell speaks at 2:30, then at 3:15 to 4. And then sometimes we get a whole new day on Thursday. So take it as it comes. And if you don't, you know, if you feel like you're missing out, you're not. It's summertime. Love you guys. See you later.